Are we witnessing the end of the Patriots dynasty?
No, not at all. By the very definition of what they've shown us over the 19 years Belichick and Brady have been together in tandem, they are not missing a beat. Their definition of dynasty is not win the Super Bowl every year. It's to be contenders. And once again, they are contenders. Number 2 seed in the AFC, contenders. Let's just talk about these 19 years because people get lost in the details. They've made 9 of the Super Bowls. That means they've missed 10 of the Super Bowls. They've won 6 of them, and that means they've lost or not competed in 13 of them. So by that definition, what we're seeing is par for the course. But let's dive a little deeper into the recent details. Last year, Super Bowl champions, remember that? But do y'all remember Week 10? Anybody? Week 14? Losses to the Dolphins, to the Titans. And once again, people like my boy Max Kellerman and everybody else, oh, it's over, it's a wrap, falling off a cliff. This is what they do. They will ride the waves, and then they will peak in the postseason, whether that is in success, like last year, Super Bowl championship, or in failure, like the other 13 years they've been together. But once again, still contenders.
I think it's a no for me, and a lot of the reasons that Marcellus gave. As long as you have Kraft and Belichick in hand, you still have the ability to have a dynasty. And I'll go back to the Castle year of when Tom Brady was removed from the team because of injury. The team still seemed to be able to win without Tom Brady. So I, however, think that it is the end of an era that's coming, and that era between Belichick and Tom Brady. I've never seen Tom Brady react the way he has reacted as it applied to the way his play is going or some of the things that he may be frustrated about. You've never really seen it in this regard. And to me, I see the cracks taking place between Brady and Belichick. But end of the dynasty, they'd have to show me before I believe that.
Absolutely. Show me. I played in Missouri, the show me state, baby. This team is still good. I don't care. Only 2 losses, a lot of teams would kill to have that record right now. And I don't even think when Tom Brady leaves, the dynasty will continue. If we call Bill Belichick the greatest coach of all time in any sport, then why would we all of a sudden just say because you lost one player or the offense isn't playing or the deep, whatever it is, that he's not going to figure it out? This is what he does. This is a good challenge for him right now, and they're going to be fine. As soon as Tom hangs his cleats up, if I'm Bill Belichick, too, a lot of people are saying that Bill Belichick's going to retire when Tom Brady, maybe they go out holding hands together. I don't think so. If I'm Bill Belichick, I'm like, I'm going to stay around, and I'm going to show everybody that the hype wasn't fake, that I am the best coach of all time, and I'm going to go out there and continue winning, and I would put everything on it that he's going to win another Super Bowl without Tom Brady.
Come on, guys. I mean, and I love Bill Belichick. He is the greatest of all time. But even as an assistant, a defensive coordinator, he had LT. The GOAT, LT. And you could, maybe he created LT. I don't think so. Now he's got the GOAT quarterback. And if this is the end of Brady, which I think it is, I think there's some agreement there. We're seeing some cracks in Tom Brady. Then it's the end of the dynasty. And again, I just don't. You're just not going to plug and play just because it's Bill Belichick. I just don't see that.
Okay, let's run with your narrative, and then I'm going to attack yours. Okay. One, you said he fell into having a GOAT or created a GOAT in LT, right?
Yeah.
And then quietly, everyone said, "You're an amazing coordinator. You'll never be a great head coach." And in the process,
no one said that. But go ahead.
You don't think so?
No.
After losing 5 of your first 6 seasons, people say you were better as a coordinator. True. They said that. All right. So then he all of a sudden, in the process of trying to silence all the Bill Parcells critics, I can't win without Bill Parcells, fell into or created another GOAT. So now he's in a situation where that GOAT goes away. You think he's not going to be motivated once again to prove the same naysayers that said he couldn't do it without Parcells, who are saying now he can't do it without Tom Brady, to be motivated to go once again?
I don't doubt his motivation. I just doubt whether he can do it again in New England. Again, he created a culture that can win even with backup quarterbacks. To your point, we have seen Tom Brady act like this before. And it was actually against the head coach of the Texans, Bill O'Brien. Do y'all remember him
just going nuts on Bill O'Brien during the game play. I think it was AFC Championship game, Bill O'Brien's last season. Point being, when Tom Brady shows frustration, it's not typical frustration, all things are falling apart. It's his competitiveness trying to be part of the team and trying to make that contagious more so than we have issues.
But that meltdown with O'Brien was more, that's player coach. That was driven player coach.
Okay.
In the AFC Championship.
This frustration,
game, right?
This frustration that you're seeing out of Tom Brady right now is true frustration towards him feeling as though, in my interpretation, that he's not as significant as he feels he should be in this moment. And that's where I think it's coming from. Yeah. That's why it's different.
It could be. I mean, and good for him. You know what? Welcome to the rest of us, okay? We've all been there. And I think it's good. But I also think, although difficult, you can plug in another great player in there. I mean, you look at music, Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth, you know that band? What's it called again? You guys know this music?
Van Halen.
Van Halen.
Might as well jump.
Okay, you can have people come in there. I mean, I look at the tight end in Kansas City. You got Travis Kelce now, another great tight end. What is to stop him from going out there? Jimmy Garoppolo is playing really good football. He's 18-3 as a starter. He's 18-3 as a starter.
He was.
Whatever
Don't
it
do
is. He is going to be fine. I think if he has that eye for talent, which is another great quality you got to have is to be a good head coach, he's going to go out there and find somebody.
Tom Brady has not lost perspective. For us to sit here and, one, marvel at his greatness, but not respect his mentality, here's some perspective for you. Tom Brady knows that even in decline, if that is what he's going through, it can still lead to his goal, success, Super Bowl championships. Here's a full screen. Looking at another player in decline who's an all-time great, and Peyton Manning. Remember that 2015 year when he got
He don't
bit?
want to go out like that.
And that's my point. He won't go out like that, and they won the Super Bowl. So Tom Brady has to have perspective and say, I'm beating the worst, who still won a championship in his decline. So I think this is something that Tom Brady should have some kind of solace in, knowing that it's not all on him.
I'm not saying this as a negative. I just think this guy is brilliant. But I think his words to Edelman and Dorsett were calculated. Just like I think the little post-game press conference a couple of weeks ago when he was all sad and wouldn't answer questions, it was all calculated. He's trying to scream to Robert Kraft, I need help. Edelman and Dorsett are not going to get any faster, any quicker. That is calculated. This dude knows a camera follows him around. He knows, and as the way he was speaking, he knows it was going to be lip read and everybody could hear what he was saying. This guy knows he needs more help. Wanted AB back, and they're not going to get AB back. He can't.
Jason Whitlock.
I don't think in previous years he'd be doing this.
Big dog.
Yeah.
When someone screams at you in a moment, they're not talking about your physical skill set. No one's looking at you say, man, I need you to be faster. Hey, dog, 4.6 is all I got. Right. They are talking about your mentality, your sense of urgency, a team that can get complacent in this next Super Bowl run because they're like, look, we know we have a postseason. Maybe we are trying to save some for it. Maybe our eyes are not directly on the prize in this moment. Where Tom Brady's like, every single second counts. So I've never seen a physical encounter between teammates, and he's actually talking about you in the weight room. He's talking about you on the football field. He's talking about your mentality. Get out the breaks. Get into the breaks. Get into the huddle. Those type of things.
I don't think he was talking to those guys at all again. I honestly think those words are intended for Robert Kraft. I need AB. And that's why, again, I think AB thinks that too. That's why he was tweeting about it. And that's why when the word came out this morning or last night, like, damn, Brady, it didn't work. I tried 2 weeks ago to throw a tantrum at the post. It didn't work. This didn't work. Now AB's said, okay, I'm not coming back to the Patriots.
They got the same agent, Don Yee. You know how easy it is for you not to blow up your spot with the owner who's been taking care of you and you're on your last leg in your 20th year? You could just call your agent who is his agent and be like, hey, Don, make this happen. And Don say yes, no, because I talked to Kraft as well. Why would you do this? Why would you try to blow up the spot to call?
Oh, I don't think he's trying to blow up. This is passive aggressive. It's brilliant, in my opinion.
What can he do, though? Who are they going to go get?
AB is who he wanted.
AB is not coming back with those tweets and all that stuff.
I agree.
So who else
You
is
think Tom Brady didn't want him back, though?
Yeah, of course he wanted him back. I would think he'd probably take Gordon back. He'd take he wants Gronk. He wants all these people. I just don't know what could Kraft do. If Kraft said, okay, Tom, I hear you. You've been complaining or whatever.
Well,
I read between the lines. What do you want me to do? What
I
can we
want
go
you
do?
to get AB, and again, this is conspiratorial, but again, they haven't even really gone into the AB investigation because, again, Robert Kraft's like, nah, man.
Chill.
We're not. Don't bring this back. And again, there's 31 or 30 other owners, because Green Bay doesn't have an owner, that agree with, like, hey, man, we can't have our players talking this out of school. AB has to sit until Robert Kraft said, okay, bring him back.
I just think AB has put him in very unwinnable situations, the owner and Tom Brady. I mean, if you're really looking at it, and again, I feel like Tom Brady his agent had something to do with that tweet where he apologized. This last tweet, not so much. That's AB going off of the reservation, right? And yes, Tom is crying out for help. He undoubtedly is crying out for help and feels as though he's not getting it. But I do think that the biggest question here is, what is the solution? Because if he's crying out to get more help and AB isn't available, again, I think the question goes back to what you asked. How at this moment in the season, 10-12, you're in week 14?
10-2.
10-2,
Yeah.
excuse me.
But my point, I think Houston is better than them. I clearly think Baltimore is the best team in the AFC, and we're going to find out about my Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday. I'm not ready to go there. It was just the Raiders, but I can legitimately say I think the Chiefs are as good. We'll see if they're better. Yeah. And then I look over at the NFC, and there's 5 or 6 teams that I know are better than the Patriots.
But not in the playoffs. I think that's the only problem with any discussion point about New England is their body of work is so solid and so proven and tried and true that you can say that every year that they've been in the Super Bowl, every year they've been, where they've been. You got to prove it. They could be better than them now, but can they be better than them in the playoffs? Is, I think, the biggest question.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.